Hey everyone, this is Tracy with Color Me This. We're on the Daily Color Big, episode 330. We're getting up there in our numbers. Today is Romantic Country. That's why I call it Big. It is the coloring in the big book, which I'm now coloring in a second big book. But I call that one Daily Color Special because it's the new magical worlds. So we are switching gears to coloring these children. Maybe it's a mom and a son. It is definitely maybe two boys. My coloring is pretty gender neutral. And we are coloring with the Black Widow colored pencils. They are, if I had to rate a difficulty in usage, not because the pencils themselves, like the pigment, is difficult to work with. It's that the numbering, labeling system on them is so kludgy. On the set that I have, maybe the newer sets do a better job. So I'll probably be going a little slower than usual. I have tried to arrange my Lazy Susan in order of each segment because each Lazy Susan, and these are from the Dollar Tree, and I like because how you can add the Lazy Susan to the bottom. I probably have a video on that from a long time ago. So the Lazy Susan part, which is the rotating, is from Amazon. I got a pack of 2 for pretty cheap. It's a 6-inch round, and then the diameter of these pencil organizers is also 6 inches round, and it has 3 legs. So each quadrant, I have labeled 1, 2, and 3 on this particular Lazy Susan, and I took all of the pencils off of it for a different project to make room to have my Black Widows as organized as humanly possible. So I definitely would say, if I was doing a tier list, that these would be right up there, or I would say down. If top is easiest to use, these would be way down at the bottom at one of the hardest to use. Again, not because of the pigment itself. The pigments are great. It is purely because of the labeling, and the colored barrels are subpar to non-existent. So I do have 3 pencils in my hand. We are going to start with the child on the left, if it is a child, and I have decided colors. I cheated and I just used the easiest method to choose the colors. So I am going to start with nope, this is a hair color. I've kind of got hair in my hand. So I try to balance. I've got 2 people. I have a color block of blue for this person over here, and on the other person on the right, which might be a young man, a boy, he's got a bird and a bear. So I originally had, this is just thinking through my process, I originally had this person be a brunette. However, because of the color of sweater on the person on the right, that later on the sweater was like the last decision I made, I went with, because of this knit, it looks to me like here, and that's way off to the side so we can't see it. It looks like a fisherman's sweater to me, so I went with traditional neutral natural cable knit. So that color is very close to blonde, and that's what made me change the color tone. I flipped the hair colors. And this isn't necessarily blonde. It's got a base of blonde, and then, kind of just some other colors in there. It's not like I can do a lot with the person's hair because it's not a lot of it. So I'm going to just keep it very simple, and we can dress it up. I can tell you that the decision for the colors, I'll just start coloring the colors of the shirt and the pants, and it will become apparent to you pretty rapidly. And I just started with the wrong section. So I really struggled with trying to organize these. The color choices went really fast. The organization of the colors did not go so fast at all. And I am determined. I have my phone in a different position today that I can actually see the top of it, which was one of the reasons why yesterday, and I got to tell you that story. So I will hold on that story. One of the reasons why I had a problem yesterday is the camera was up higher than normal at a different angle. So I did not see, I did use my camera, which is got a better indicator for when it's filming. It is a red, very obvious red with numbers in it, and the time is ticking when it is actually recording. And then you have the obligatory 2 vertical bars, meaning pause, if I wanted it to pause. And because it's the 2 vertical bars, that's on the right side of my camera, I know that it is going right now. But I could not see that yesterday. So that is why I got into trouble. And then I forgot to even look. Well, I decided I have a very large bird of paradise plant that we recovered. A friend of mine recovered 2 of them that were in pots. They were very large and they were totally root bound. So when I transplanted them in August or late July before our trip, I am using Bloodshot DG134. Just finished that. I'm going to watermelon, which is BW57. Notice watermelon has 0 colored barrel. You have to look at the tip. And I have not, this is such an obvious pinky red color that I haven't felt that I had to put on a fake barrel made out of paper colored with the color. So back to my story. I have these birds of paradise. They are huge. I put them in the ground, and I have been carefully watering because according to my research, they will go into shock. These have not appeared to go into shock. They look really good, but you have to keep them well watered for 6 months. And I'm only at the 5th month now. So what I did yesterday is I thought, okay, I'm going to turn the water on the birds. Not quite a drip, but definitely slow. So I have the hose over there. It's spanning across the walkway, and you can hear it running. It makes a different sound when it's on high pressure versus just the low pressure I had it on. And I knew that I would be recording for at least 45 minutes. So I thought it would be perfect. And that's when you heard Hub at 20 minutes in. He didn't know I was filming, and he comes crashing through the front door and yells out, "What the frack is going on with the water? Why do you have the water on?" And then I stopped the filming right when so you heard him, and you missed hearing me saying, "I am soaking the birds while I film." That is not related at all to the fact that I didn't. After that point, a couple things happened, and then I went back to filming again with the thing up higher, not tilted at this angle, and sure enough, I somehow missed turning on the camera, and it still amazes me. I am in disbelief, and I really feel that I do have I'm going to go ahead and take the watermelon and do a little bit up here, and then I will bring back the Bloodshot for some darker reds. And we're going to save shadows for a little bit later. So that is what happened yesterday. Still not clear to me how it is that I missed making sure that it was filming. I guess I got too complacent with my phone. And like I said, I'm on episode 330 now. And I think I already had 100 and something episodes when I first started, but still, I have filmed so many hundreds of videos, you guys. On my other channel, I have over 700 videos on the other channel. So I just feel like I dropped the ball and feel really bad, especially since I was working on this aspect of coloring with the gold metallic filigree, beautiful edging that I was really nervous about. And then I didn't even film it and it came out just fine. So those are the exciting things that happen in life. So another aspect, if we go back to these Black Widow, they feel really lovely. I have not sharpened them much. They came to me used, and if they're not sharpened, it's not because I've used them necessarily. And they are in another aspect of the difficulty, they work really poorly on copy paper. So I had to switch from copy paper for my mock-up to the Nina Bristol Vellum, which is a toothy. So what I'm working with when I do my mock-up colors is either very dull on my copy paper, which the back of my copy paper has now become my color tracker. And no, I'm going to give you a peek at my color tracker. The color tracker has so many more colors required to keep track of with the conversions to the Prismacolor, because I did start with a Prismacolor tutorial for the background. And so I've purposefully, or accidentally on purpose, made this more complicated. Choosing these particular pencils, well, you guys chose the pencils, but I really love using them. They feel really good on this paper. They are very much either very light or very dark and rough. I'm going to show you my mock-up of my person. Just very rough. I'm just sketching it in, but look how rough that is. And I don't want to spend a ton of time making it perfect. I just want to see the color tones. You'll also notice that the tent is really deep, vibrant, rich blue, but here it is not. And that I need to go in now after the people are done. I'm going to address that and decide if I really want to have the tent be faded or if I want to darken it up. It will depend on how the people come out. So my light source is over here. Let's see, can you see it? Nope, up here. Over back here, if I move a little bit over, you'll see this tree has the light on it, which means my people are going to have their light, the light hitting them all on their, like for this boy, probably kind of on this back side. He'll have a little bit of a glow over here, and he won't have it on the left side. And there might be a little bit of light I leave toward the front right, but the left side will be decidedly darker. And it is not necessarily a realism project, so I could go in and put some shadowing in, but I don't think I'm going to put as much shading and shadow in as I would if it were real. I'm going to leave it somewhat on the brighter side. Oh, I have the basket to do. I didn't come up with basket colors. So I think we're going to be finishing this in 2 sittings, today and tomorrow. Tomorrow I might deal with the tent. I completed a bunch of homework on yesterday's project in preparation for doing the gold, which is why I feel so bad that I messed it up. Okay, so here's our red. That's our start of our colors. And I might come back and do a little more. I'm leaving that right side fairly light. Again, I've got my my Lazy Susan is all set up, and the next 3, I don't think I'll need 3, but I did. Oh, and I forgot one other thing. I'm going to grab the red again. I'm going to grab the lightest red for now. Sorry, I just hit the part of the arm. And I'm going to scooch this down. I have these flags are going to be alternating colors between the 2 colors. I haven't revealed the second color yet because it's kind of in a way, it's a cheat. I picked a really easy possibility, not wanting to overcomplicate everything, and that is my motto with these coloring projects. Unless I have like a clear vision in my head, if I don't have a clear vision, I want to just come up with a color scheme and just go for it. The first thing that comes to my mind. So that I can break out of that whole really stressing about colors. That I think that is one of the most common things that I hear from people who either come to coloring class and they have not colored before, or when I have an event and I'm there and then we talk about coloring, they all talk about the stress of choosing colors. So I am trying to overcome that because I suffer from that myself. So there's the first flag. And then I'm going to go ahead and do that with the alternating flag, which means the other color that you will be introduced to momentarily will be these 3, the main colors of the 3. I'm using the watermelon to start out my colors, but I have bloodshot, which is that darker color. This flag, you'll see I purposefully made it a little bit lighter on the right side because it does have some light on it. And then this flag back here is going to be bloodshot. It'll be a darker color because it is in essence in shadow. So these 2 little triangles are going to be, so that's watermelon. I will be grabbing bloodshot, which is not sharpened, and I have some smaller spaces to deal with, so I'm going to sharpen. I have my sharpener handy today. I think I have everything handy today. All right, so bloodshot, going to come in here. And then this whole flag will be darker. I will be probably starting the next round of sets, the rotation through all of my sets. On Saturday, I should have this finished. After tomorrow. So Saturday we will do a startup of whatever is next in Small Victories, starting with the rotation again, this time having, I think, 34 sets of pencils, if I include my 2 water-based pencils that I am comfortable with using. Okay, so now I have officially finished the red bits. Setting down bloodshot, which is the darker one. I do not need 3. I just happen to have these 3 and they go together well, so we'll see if I end up using just the 2, a light and a dark. So here is my alternate color. Washed green MN108, apple MN047, and leaf green MN058. I'm going to take apple and pull it away because it might be I don't need it. And I am going to start with the dark. So if you immediately went, oh, look at her, she cheated. Yes, I did. I have chosen green and red for Christmas. Yes, this is a summertime picture with the bird and the cheery background. So it's not a winter scene. It's just me picking these colors, but I'm hoping that the choices for the other person, as well as the pants and everything, will soften the decidedly Christmas colors. And I did choose a darker green. So here's where my red that went over the lines with actually really shows. So I could decide to erase this line where there's a little bit of red. But I don't know, I don't think it's worth stressing about it. So I am not going to stress about it. This scarf is also going to be green. The right side of the scarf will be the lighter side. We've got a fold or two that might be dark. In this armpit area, there's some dark. I have to put a little blue underneath there. These are a little bit noisy as far as pencils go, as you can hear. I do have that middle green. I'm going to sharpen this green. I will say these they feel very soft when you put them on the smooth paper, and that softness makes it more difficult to get the pigment. But if you sharpen them, see how I get that sharper, edgy darkness? So sharpening them does help. So if you use these and you do find you struggle with your laydown, sharpen them up and you will get a lot more pigment down. All right, so I am going to, I still have the rest of the stripes. Still have a little bit, I have a shadow color picked out that's like an overall shadow color. But again, I'm not sure I'm going to use it because I might want to keep things pretty bright. To further emphasize the Christmas coloring theme, this is going to stay white and the little pom-pom in the back will stay white. I might add a little light gray. Not sure yet about that. Going in with my light green on the sunny side. And then I need a little more of the watermelon all the way here on the edge. I even have a pink. You can do a salmon for the lightest red. That is really important to make sure you do have like a salmony color, a little bit more of the peachy tone than the pink tone tends to, for me, look like a more realistic red. Though I picked a very pinkish red, watermelon is actually a pinky red. So we will work on the highlight color, which I don't think I grabbed. I have one right here called, it's a really weird color name. It is called Fudge. Don't ask me why. And that I have set aside as a possible lighter tone. Yeah, that can be my lightest tone. But for the moment, I'm going to do the green up on the flags here. Yeah, these just feel, they have a very soft feel to them. So I would say, for an experienced colorist, I would not think these would be a pencil that a beginning colorist would like because of the numbering, naming, and barrels. But they are very soft. They kind of feel like mica, the metallics that I really love the feel of. So this is a pencil that you can get the feeling of mica. Really super soft, buttery soft. A Copic marker feels this buttery soft. So these have a special feel to them. I know that they were made in Australia, and they were made for like the medical industry by a man who's involved in the medical industry. Not sure exactly in what capacity, but they do fit the bill for a very relaxing pencil as far as the feel of it. However, I just wish that they were better numbered and labeled and had better color identification for ease of using them and picking out your colors. All right, so there's the green red. Oh, I have to put my green here. The top of the tent. I'm going to hold off on that until I get the blue to the depth that I want it. And then the top, which you can't see, the top here is probably going to be green, but because there's green, trying to get the contrasts and the balance of color might actually make me use red just for the balance. So we'll see which way I end up going. But here we go. We're back to our human, our young human. And there we go. So one of the things for balance that I have done, I do have this pink and the light green. So this pink I'm going to sharpen. And I'm going to go ahead. I told you this was going to be a little slower because of just trying to keep all my colors straight. I don't want to rush. I don't want to make a mistake. See, we're already at 28 minutes, so we definitely are going to need a couple of days. So here is this highlighty bit with the very light pink. And then we're going to go ahead and fill in the tooth. I'd like the armpit area to be darker. but I like how vibrant that is. I have pretty happy with the greens. Setting down, I never used apple, but I think I'm good with the thin lines of green. That's plenty. What I did with the pants is a hybrid. Do I have the pants? I'm going to grab two colors. I want the pants to be very dark. But they're going to have a... I'm going to tilt a little bit more so that I can move this just right for me. The shadow, I have this color, it's a black, it's called Black Widow. It is black. This is going to be very shaded. I'm doing small swirls because I don't want there to be any line. No lines, we're just kind of a neutral, smooth, dark, nondescript. And then I am going to take a little bit of this very lightly. And then very lightly over here in the definite shadowy part on the left. But I don't want to have it be just soft, just like that. Up here in the hat, same thing. I'm going to have to use a light gray on the white and the puff on the back of the hat. And most of this is all dark. Very soft with the black because I don't want to have it be too black. There is going to be some light on parts of the leg in my world for the lighting. Okay, switching to the dark green, leaf green. I do want there to be an undertone of green on the pants. Who thought coloring a person would be this time consuming? So these are like dark khaki pants. So the other switch that I made when I changed the hair color, I did not want the the boot color on the other child to be light. So I made it dark brown, but I didn't want them to have the same color of boots. So this person's boots are going to be light colored. All right, so there's the pants. And I might do some more filling into the tooth at some point. But that is a nice way. I could have just used darker green. Find a super dark one. But instead I just used a mix of the black with this green so that my green tone would match for sure. Coming in, we've got some shadow lines. I can feel the tooth filling in now. It's starting to burnish itself a little bit and get, it has a different feeling when there's no tooth left. But not unpleasant. Okay. Little did I know that this was going to end up taking this long. All right, boots. We've got boots, we've got skin. I'd like to finish this person for sure before we end today. Skin colors. And hair is done. So I am looking at my cheat sheet for skin. There's the hair color. I am looking for SL007 on my Lazy Susan. Oh, I found it. And then I took the pink, and that is right here. And then I am going to have that be watermelon. I don't think this is very sharp. Keeping the skin tone very simple. I will be getting a shadow tone for the left side of the face. This is just a little bit of the pink. The fudge. I did not know fudge was pink, but evidently it is. So the next skin tone I would like to find is a slight shadowy color tone. I'm going to set these down. I think that my phone might be... I'm going to pause for a moment because I think it needs a charge. Yep, it needed a charge. So we are now doing the darker shadow color. It's called Fawn MN121. And we're just doing some... It's just a tiny bit darker. In real life, I would add much more shadow than this. Okay, so we're going to leave that. For the moment. What else have I got? We have boots, and we have the same, the tone on the plates that they're eating from, and their silverware is going to be the same, and I do have that next. And what am I missing? The boots color for her boots are... I've got to find SD019. I might pause to find it because I think I already was looking for it. Oh, I found it. Yay. Oops. That is me hitting the cable for the phone. Okay. Now we have very light colored boots that are going to have some shadows. So let me rotate to the grays. See if I can find a middle gray here. So SD019 is the main boot color, and they are a light colored. It is even called light mocha. And then this medium gray, MN072, I am just playing around with. I haven't even, my mock-up, I didn't deal with any shadowing of the boots. So there we have a completed person. We are now going to do the plate. I have 2 grays. The gray I just used. That looks a little red right there. I might clean that up. I would say technically the plate, this side of the plate isn't in any light, but it is in my world metallic, so we'll give it a little bit of a shine. This is a much darker. It is the Black Widow. I have used that. And I even think I'm going to darken up more of the boots. Soft swirls is what I'm doing, little ovals. Now this brown needs to darken up. A lot. All right, and that concludes our first person, and we finished the tent little banner as well. Next will be the other human and the bird and the bear, the little teddy bear over here. So do all the YouTube things, like, share, comment, consider subscribing. And join me again tomorrow where we will finish the next human, and then we have a basket that we will also probably try to finish. We'll see how quickly I can go so that we can finish this up for the most part tomorrow. I may want to go an extra day. We'll see. Hope to see you there.